Welcome in, Wednesday edition. Blue Sky Live here with you today. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio, and some news and notes. A few things that thought some folks came out of the Rebel Road Trip last night in Memphis. Football, basketball, a few other things. On 3, ask some high school football recruits what they were asking for NIL. Thought that was interesting. With that a little bit today. Got a good Jackson Dart thread going on the message board. Got a lot of stuff going on this morning.
Mad disrespect. It cannot stand. Not in June. No, sir.
Hey, June is peak. Be frustrated by anything in preseason season. July, we'll get into uniforms. June is frustration and whatnot. Like I said, as I said yesterday, the unofficial start to the football season is only a little over a month away, and then we wait again for a few weeks, and then we do camp. Here on our calendar. Always football season around here. But rebelgrove.com, a lot of stuff going on. Completing a mailbag. It'll be up at some point today. I meant to put it up this morning, and I just got started later than I meant to. I thought I would, and it didn't really work out that way.
My intention was to get up early and finish my mailbag, and then I fell back asleep.
Yes, I didn't sleep. I was up a good bit in the middle of the night, and then when I fell back asleep, I had a hard time getting up, and it just didn't quite work out that way. A couple cocktail questions in there, summer cocktail season.
Yeah,
football, basketball.
I had a mezcal old fashioned on Friday before the concert.
Mm-hmm.
We went with Caroline to get not dinner, but like drinks and a couple appetizers.
Yeah,
and it was very, very good.
Well,
I think I liked it better than a bourbon old fashioned.
Well, I mean, you know this, but it's got typecast with Mad Men and whatnot. Old fashioned is a style of drink, not a bourbon or a rye drink.
You could technically have a rum old fashioned.
Yeah, rum, brandy, whatever you would like, mezcal. Tell you an interesting cocktail in town right now. And this is not in my mailbag. I thought about it as you said that.
I'm open to talking cocktails at any hour of any
St.
day.
Leo's doing it. I think they're calling it a Jazzerac. It's a play on a Sazerac.
Okay.
And it is a Wonderbird gin that aged in a Buffalo Trace barrel.
Oh.
So it is almost, it is very similar to, it's different. Better is not really the right word. It's different depending on what you're trying to apply it to from an application standpoint. But it's similar to our friends at Cathead when they did the dark gin with Bristow.
Yeah.
The one that almost was like a cocktail in a glass, almost kind of a minty, bourbon-y type thing, even though it was a gin. It's very similar to that from Wonderbird. And on the, just neat in a glass, it has a cocktail type complexity to it, but thrown in with Sazerac type elements. Really, really good, interesting, different cocktail there.
That sounds interesting.
So, yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, no, it's
anyway.
That's cool. I'm interested now.
Are you?
Yeah. Wonderbird, because I'm not a big. This is honest truth.
Yeah, I don't either. Because it's what Hardman says here. He goes, "Gin tastes like drinking pine sap." Typically, yes.
Typically does.
Yes,
I agree. There are a lot of gins that I just really can't drink. Their gin, for whatever reason, does not have that pine. It's more floral.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's not the deep cedar botanicals where you're like,
no, totally different.
Yeah, because bad gin is the equivalent of that Abita Christmas tree ale, where I literally feel like I need to wipe the sap off my tongue
and you can't get it off.
Yeah, just blah,
awful. Like you drink that beer and 3 days later it's like a bad cigar.
And look, I'm an Abita guy. I think it might be the worst beer on the market. It might be literally the worst beer at the store.
I mean, it's in that race. There are a couple.
And I'm not a beer guy. Everybody knows that. I'm not real detailed with this, but I'm just telling you.
Well, I mean, I am a beer guy.
Yeah.
I love beer more than I wish I did. But for whatever reason, we ought to do this. We ought to remind mental note.
Okay.
Come December.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we have some other, because if we don't, people are going to be jumping off buildings.
We'll need to bring the therapist in.
Yeah. And this might be a good therapy show. Bring in some of the different, because a lot of the, Shiner tries it too.
The holiday ales.
The Christmas ale, holiday ale.
Yeah.
I know you can't call it Christmas because God only. But the holiday ales. And we ought to just do a taste
See how
test.
they are.
Which one's the best, worst?
Yeah. I've got two things on this. Got another question. Let's hit some openings and then I'll come back. We have time, guys. We're just hanging out today.
June
so
6th.
it's all good.
June 5th.
It is June 5th. Yes, that's the
happy late anniversary to my parents. Their 58th wedding anniversary
58?
was yesterday.
Oh.
And just in case you're out there, William, and you remember, it was also yesterday was the God, I'm getting old.
What is it?
The 40th anniversary of a home run ball that I hit off my friend William Colvin.
You know that?
Yes.
Why do you know that date?
Because we were good friends, and
we
were in driver's ed that summer, and there was a lot of trash being talked about strikeouts and such. And
are you serious?
Yeah.
So you knew it's June 5th, June 4th.
June 4th, 1984.
Wow.
First pitch fastball.
Wow.
Left center field fence.
Really?
Yep. I was pretty proud of it. It was a big moment.
Okay.
I knew running around the bases that I was going
to. Is that one of the balls up here on the shelf?
I'm not sure. I've saved the ball.
Really?
Yeah, I've got it somewhere.
All right. I'll get there in a minute, too. Sorry. Blue skies all over Mississippi. They're up and down I-55 throughout North Mississippi as well. Lunch specials, $5.69, couple sides bread, any size fountain drink here locally. The Blue Sky Epicenter down in Macomb, if you're in that area of the state. And then Sweet Daddy locations all over the state of Mississippi. Ribs, pulled pork, tons of options. Good food there for you with clean convenience stores and more. We'll take care of you no matter where you are in Mississippi. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Corey sent me a text last night about the Cubs winning a game, and I was already asleep. I'd completely given up on it. Corey has more faith in the Cubbies than I do, apparently. So you can call him today. You can talk about the Cubs beating the White Sox. Then you can ask him for a quote on a Ford product. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours, right down to the bottom line. No haggle, no hassle. Just get a quote, and the rest is up to you. You can shop it around, or you can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. They want to be your car guy. They want to be your truck guy. They'll prove to you what that means when you make the call. 662-257-1900. Guests will join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. The Campbell Clinic is in Oxford now, 2608 South Lamar Boulevard, Suite 102. Just across the street from the cottages at Hooper Hollow. Campbell Clinic provides full-service orthopedic care, everything from sports medicine to foot and ankle surgery to spine and total joint care, pediatric orthopedics, physical therapy, and more. To book an appointment, go to campbellclinicoxford.com or call 901-759-3111. Walk-ins always welcome at the Campbell Clinic, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah, where's your Letterman's jacket? Is it at your parents'? Did you keep it?
I think it's there. I don't know. It's probably long gone by now.
You think so?
Probably.
Did you get it completely finished? Like, does it have all the bars and everything on it that it should?
No.
Okay.
Got it, and then had my jersey number on it. And I can't remember if I ever had anything else. Those weren't super popular. You can kind of wear them.
Oh, really?
Like Carson's got one, and they never wear it.
Yeah, they've gone down in popularity, I guess.
Like he doesn't even have anything on his at all, just the letter.
I guess we wore ours in high school. Like I feel like we did. Now I don't think I ever got it completely finished.
I don't know why they stopped wearing them. I kind of think that's a rite of passage high school.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
It's cliche for a reason in a good way.
It's so funny. So he has a teammate, an exchange student from Germany who came this year, Eustace, and you have to. I think at Oxford you have to play 2 years before you get your jacket.
Okay.
And he obviously only played one because, duh,
exchange student. Yeah.
But at the banquet they gave him an Oxford letter jacket.
Probably a pretty cool moment.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was kind of emotional, really. But he wore it everywhere until it got too hot to wear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wore it every day, everywhere. He was so proud of it. And I was like, that's so cool. I mean,
yeah.
But maybe that's the difference. The European kids don't feel like they have to be so freaking cool. American kids, you must be super cool because if anybody thinks that you're not, it's the end of the world. But those are perfectly you should wear your letter jacket as a high schooler.
Like I remember when we would finish seasons and they would give you the patches from whatever your playoff run was to put on it.
Yeah.
But you have to find somebody to put it on it. It was cumbersome to try to go, hey, how do I go get this And then if you do it too fast, it almost looks odd when nobody else thought it was that important, and you were the guy that went, "Oh no! In fact, next day I need this 1-2A title patch put on the side of my jacket." So,
and really, if it was anything other than a state championship, you didn't.
That's what I mean.
Want to put
Yeah,
it
that's
on.
what I'm saying. And we didn't do this. I was like, okay, sure, but yeah, you're not putting division runner up on your Letterman's jacket.
No.
Like,
No.
So I don't know. Yeah. Somebody asked up there, am I a transfusion or a John Daly on a golf course? Not a transfusion. I don't even necessarily know why.
What's a
that feels
transfusion?
it's a grape juice cocktail thing.
Oh.
It's gotten popularized in the last couple of years. Barstool's big on them. Like, it almost feels too trendy. Like, and grape is not my favorite, like, artificial flavor, if you will. That's not really my grape juice is not really one of my things. Much more likely to do a lemonade type concoction of some sort if I was going to do that. I like a Rattler, the beer mixed with carbonated lemonade typically.
Yeah, for sure.
They keep those a good bit of time, not always, but a lot. That's one of the go-tos. Because I mean, you're not just pounding liquor typically. I mean, that would be cumbersome.
That could end up not going well.
Yeah, in a variety of ways at that point. So yeah, something like that. I think that's the deal there. Put QR codes on your jacket. I mean, you do have a couple balls up there, so it might be. Or are those all like major league sign balls?
I think those are all major league sign balls.
Are they?
Yeah, I think the only baseball that I have from my youth was the aforementioned one.
So was it an all-star game or
no,
what? Like,
it was just a game. It was just a fun.
So the stakes were low.
Stakes were low. It was just a fun moment that I still remember.
Okay.
It was a game where a lot of my friends were in that game. We had driver's ed that morning. It was just there was a lot of talk.
Okay.
About that matchup.
No, I have no issue with high noons on the golf course. No, that's about the right frequency.
I just don't like them.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't mind those at all.
I don't really like seltzers at all.
Really?
Yeah. I've tried them.
Are they too sweet? What is it?
I just don't like them. I don't know. Like the girls in Arkansas, they're called Scarlet Letters. It's a brand.
Yeah, sure.
And everybody loves them, and I've tried them, and I'm like, High Noons, it's very similar to that. I just don't like them.
And you don't like any of the brands more than others? Because like a High Noon doesn't necessarily taste like a White Claw.
Yeah,
they are different.
I don't like White Claws at all.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather just have a water.
You just need Zima to make a comeback.
Ooh, that was gross.
Oh, you think all these are much better than the old Smirnoff Ice Zima trend?
Disgusting. I hated that stuff.
I actually got down not a deep dive, but I looked them up for some reason yesterday. I was talking to somebody about it. Zimas have been gone for over 15 years now, but they did come back for 2 straight summers and apparently sell well in 2017 and 2018. I did not remember that at all. Oh. I didn't have one.
No. Same.
I didn't go get the Jolly Ranchers and do the nostalgia's sake with the Zima.
Back when I was a bartender, they were it seems like they were kind of popular, and I never got it. I never understood it. We had to keep them stocked.
I do know, I don't do it, but I do know people that do that. Make sure they have their High Noon over ice. So that it completely changes things.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hardman says Dogfish Head Strawberry Lemonade Seltzer is fire, he called it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot Sonic has alcoholic drinks now.
Really?
Forgot that. Yeah, Leif says the Sonic alcoholic drinks taste like sunscreen. That's not a good recommendation.
No.
That's not a win.
Because most of us have tasted sunscreen. When your parents put sunscreen all over you and you got sweaty at the beach and ran down into your
Zimas in the late 90s were all over the place. I mean, they were huge.
Yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Owned by the Coors Company. Zima means winter in some other language.
Oh, is that right?
That is correct. Yes.
How about that? I did not know that.
We'll get to actually Ole Miss stuff here in a minute, but I'd like to say that I appreciate the Los Angeles Lakers listening to the podcast yesterday and then deciding to pursue J.J. Redick. We
hired Lane Kiffin, and now we've hired J.J. Redick.
We've hired J.J. Redick.
So there we go.
It does appear to be basically done.
I wonder what that means for the podcast. His podcast with LeBron, who's now his player. Or I'm assuming LeBron returns to the Lakers.
I guarantee that he does because I guarantee he handpicked J.J. Redick.
Well, he insisted that he had no role.
Neal.
Chase.
Neal.
Are you doubting the veracity of LeBron James?
If you're the Lakers,
are you on the record right now saying that you do not believe that LeBron James was being completely honest about his role in the Los Angeles Lakers coaching search?
Complete and utter 100% horseshit is what that
wow.
is. Yes.
He's not even an employee of the Lakers at this point.
That is a good point. Sonic's finally just doing what everyone actually did in high school, which was pour liquor into their slushes. It's fair. They caught up and went, okay, sure. You're going to do it anyway. So
we're leaving some money on the table.
Yeah. But I don't know if there's a more dangerous drink in America than getting a 44-ounce slush and pouring a fifth of vodka into it. Like,
ooh.
You're not going to taste the alcohol, and that is going to be quite potent.
A fifth?
Well, I'm being a little hyperbolic.
Oh, okay. I was making sure.
But I mean, a good bit. Because
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's a lot of mix.
Just grab the straw and start slurping, and woo.
Yeah. Why not just guzzle some Everclear?
Here's the deal: is I'm fascinated. I mean, I said this yesterday with no knowledge of the situation about Redick and him being an NBA coach. He's never coached above youth league.
Yeah.
His friend, business partner, whatever you want to call LeBron, is now his star player at 40.
Yeah.
Who runs the franchise.
It's a bad
This has tons of issues.
Roster. It's a bad roster. You've got Anthony Davis, who's a great player when he's healthy. And then you just have a bunch of dudes. You have no flexibility on your roster at all, and you are playing in an absolutely loaded Western Conference. You got Dallas, Denver, Oklahoma City. Memphis is coming back next year because Morant will be back. New Orleans is still very talented. Minnesota, very good.
They don't suck.
I mean, you got your hands. The Clippers are good. The Spurs are coming. Wembanyama is going to be a superstar in the league. I don't. If I'm JJ Redick, I get it's the Lakers.
It's not that right job.
And it's a premier franchise in
not
all
the
of
right
sports,
job.
but the timing's not great.
And you're learning and adapting during LeBron's final years.
He's 40.
That's what I mean. He's got one or two left.
He's still a very, very, very good player. And
he's
I think
a top 20 player.
Yes, but he's no longer a top 5 player. The fact that he's a top 20 player is a testament to his longevity. But come on. And again, you're just in the West. The West is loaded. It's so good. I mean, we didn't even mention Phoenix with their players. The West is just loaded. I don't know how you
is Redick doing it because it's the only job he could get.
I don't know. I guess probably the money and the prestige of the Lakers and all that.
But he's not an idiot. He wouldn't do the instant gratification thing, I don't think. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. I don't know.
I mean, maybe LeBron begged him to do it.
And within 9 months, they're going to be mad at each other. Coach, player, it is what it is.
Likely.
Because LeBron tries to coach the team.
Redick is highly respected in the league. Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe.
Sure.
It's not the job, if I were him, that I would have wanted to take.
Oh, God. Harden's Smirnoff Apple and Sprite. That's, oh, God. Mm-mm. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it's not. No.
That's not the answer.
It's not my thing. Yeah, Charlotte would have made more sense because he would have had more time, less. The Lakers beat is probably the most covered beat in the NBA. So you're going to get tons of scrutiny. Yeah, it's a big time franchise from a popularity standpoint.
Once it goes down, we need to call Dan Wikey. He covers either the Lakers or the Clips still.
Yeah,
I don't remember which one.
I think kind of both.
Is it both? So he's doing NBA for the LA Times.
I think so. Yeah, his name came up on another podcast that I was listening to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were talking about something he wrote.
No, look, I mean, LeBron is extremes on both sides with most people. He's a much more complicated person than he gets credit for being.
Yeah. I generally just like him. I mean, I know he has views that he and I probably don't see eye to eye on, and that's okay.
And he got harmed by the gate vandalism thing with a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was a bad look.
Yeah.
But this podcast has helped him. I told you yesterday, I went from like here to here.
Well, you do.
I'm moving my hand to the right for people that are
You
watching.
do understand when you listen to his podcast with Reddick that now you understand why some guys couldn't really play with him. And other guys really could, because the guy is an absolute basketball savant.
It's not a Jordan type thing, but it's a similar deal to you have to be a certain way to play with him. It's not the same application, but it's a similar.
And you have to really understand the game.
Yeah.
Schematically.
Yeah.
It's much like with Jordan, Kobe, those kinds of people. They're wired differently. There's the reason there aren't many of them.
Well, that's what I like about their podcast is I'm a complete and utter basketball idiot, but when they start explaining something, I go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of get it. Like, take me through it. I'll watch it. Let me see that. And you go, oh, that's what they were trying to do there. Or that didn't, okay. You start just kind of staring at it like a monkey a little bit where I go,
Yeah. Everybody goes, all they do is play ISO ball. And you're like, no, that's not it at all.
No, it's complicated.
There's a lot there.
Now, the jargon I don't get at all, and they lose me in it, whatever. Because they're like, hey, I'm like,
yeah. They forget that they're doing a podcast.
They do, yeah. They start talking in these.
It starts being two guys that have played a ton of basketball and love the game, and they're just drinking wine and talking about it, and they forget that.
I have no idea
you're talking into a mic, Which is that.
That's the good and the bad.
It's the good and the bad. Yeah, we've done that before, where you just start having fun and you forget that you're doing a podcast.
Yeah. So. Anyway, all right, it's some other topics in a minute. First, Parham Shrimp, parhamshrimp.com. They've got 8 different flavors available for you. Their soy ginger is their most recent. We're going to make it a little cheaper on you, too. You get the soy ginger, get their best-selling Louisiana, New Orleans-style barbecue. Sorry, that one. They also get the Louisiana shrimp bowl, spicier option, signature option. A lot of different flavors. So get a little of everything. Find your favorite and stock up on that. Use code RG. With parhamshrimp.com. Buy 5 pouches or more, you get 25% off. They deliver directly to your door. If you're within 10 minutes, freezer to plate with Parham Shrimp. So again, 5 pouches or more, code RG, 25% off, parhamshrimp.com.
Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Sego Wealth Management specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting. See what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. Brought to you by Grenada Home Center. They've got paints by Benjamin Moore, Pittsburgh Paints, Farrell Calhoun, flooring of any and all types, stone countertops, whether you're looking for granite, quartz, or anything else. And they've got window treatments from plantation shutters to whatever else suits your fancy. It's Grenada Home Center, 1301 Sunset Drive, Suite H in Grenada. Call them at 662-226-3127. This is the week to sign up for Oxford Park Commission Fall Sports. Started on Monday. They're taking sign-ups now for youth flag football, baseball, softball, volleyball, and soccer. Your kids can play all sports thanks to the new format that will allow their sports to play concurrently with various sports playing on different nights of the week. Create an OPC website account at oxfordparkcommission.com or contact OPC Community Relations Director John Davis at oxfordparkcommission.com for additional information. We're also brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great products, people, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern 662-429-4429. The football season's still a couple months away, so you got plenty of time, but you should stop by the College Corner, get prepped up, get ready, I guess, for the fall. They've got 2 locations in the Jackson area, 1 in Oxford, and you can also shop online at collegecornerstore.com. And call Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services team today. They'll conduct a complimentary, no-obligation benchmarking and analysis of your current 401k plan. Mention that you heard about Argent Wealth on BlueSky Live, the Oxford Exxon podcast. Receive 10% off your first year's fees. It's myargentwealth.com.
So a couple things, just kind of quick news and notes. Talked to a few people that were at Rebel Road Trip last night in Memphis. They are having to make, it was originally set up for 4 stops in April, 4 stops in June, but 3 of the 4 stops were affected by weather back in April. So now they're doing 7 of those. I think Birmingham was the only one that happened in the previous time. So I guess, and I don't even know what it means from a media standpoint, locally, different outlets and beats and whatnot. Frankly, everything but a Tad Smith announcement, which we expected, was stuff we'd kind of already reported that a lot of people were talking about in writing yesterday. And I thought everybody kind of has their people and things aren't spread per much. What probably hurts all of us, if you want to be true, because you don't have a lot of doubling up with listeners and readers and where they are at some point. Because as I was kind of reading through Twitter and reactions, and like David Eckert wrote a story about the baseball stadium being stopped from an expansion standpoint, and I'm like, yeah, but a lot of people are like, oh, wow. And it's like, okay. I mean, it's a much longer conversation, but it just kind of caught me off guard. I was like,
you should all just come to us.
I knew that.
We've now hired Kiffin and Reddick. I mean, what else is there to do? I think we played a pretty big role in the Chris Beard thing. I mean, it's just come here. We'll handle it.
Well, we didn't get Mike fired. What'd you do for me lately? You know what I mean?
I mean, we almost did. Then he won a national championship.
It's fair. There's a ring and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
so yeah, a couple things. I mean, just kind of reminding people, I guess, if anything else, it's not a ton of news. They are not doing the expansion. They haven't been going to do the expansion for several weeks to a month now. It was going to be stopped no matter how the baseball season went. Like, a lot of people were making that into they didn't fire Mike, so it's the revenue sharing, it's money in general, it's construction cost, it's what bids come out at, it's all those things. Ole Miss could have gone 56-0 and they still were pausing the expansion. So don't connect those things in that way. Neither school has announced it, and I don't know why, but Ole Miss is not playing USC. It's dead. It is beyond dead. It is under happening. The coffin is completely in the ground. So don't make your hotel reservations for the LA area next.
I mean, you still could,
year.
But just don't expect to see a football game.
Well, fair. That's that. And then Beard said last night that there will be a Tad Smith game again this year.
Yeah.
Somebody had said they think it's South Alabama, but either way, I don't know. I don't really know about the team. Early in the season, I think maybe the third game of the season is what I heard.
Hopefully it's just not an 8 o'clock tip again.
It was 8, wasn't it?
Late.
And it was being streamed. They didn't know to the last second they were going to be able to, but it was streamed because I watched the end of it. It's a good event.
It was cool.
It's a one-time thing a year. It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, it was a cool game.
I know some people go, oh, you went to a new arena and now you're not playing in it. Shut up. It's one game. It's one game. Nostalgia matters. In today's college athletics world where we're just taking all the heartstrings and ripping them into pieces and throwing them away, anything that'll give you one yay for that, it's a good thing.
Sure. 100%.
Chill. It's good.
No, it was cool. It was fun.
I hope they bring back Andy's era and do that and do the whole deal. That's what I want them to do. I don't know I have no clue. But they did Evans last time. Let's do another one. They intimated when Beard did the thing with Andy on Funky's roof that it might be Andy this time up.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know.
I don't either. No clue. But it's good. Completely good. It's positive. There's no negative to playing one game at Tad Smith Coliseum per year.
No, they should absolutely do it.
And you don't fix any of the flaws. You put no money into Tad Smith. No, you just clean it up and polish it and make it do what it is.
It's a non-conference game in November.
I mean, we said this at the time. Watching the game in there where it's just basketball, it's kind of nice.
Oh, I mean
the stuff. I mean, I know I made a couple people mad last time we went on this topic deeply, but I don't love the constant display of needing everybody in the arena on the video board at all times. Like, can we not just watch the basketball game and wait? I have no problem with the between innings.
Like the kiss cam and stuff.
Well, no, I hate that kind of stuff.
I do too. I despise it.
No. But like the promotions, like on the court, let the people, try to make the putt or shoot the basketball or anything that's doing those things from an active on court standpoint.
Sure.
But frankly, your senses in the pavilion are kind of all thrown off because it's so loud at times and in weird spots. Mm-hmm. And then the video board is more concerned with the crowd than anything else. Like maybe I'm hypersensitive. I don't know. I don't know if you people agree in the same way, but to me, it's almost just a little too much. Like, I feel like it's everything else, and the crowd becomes the important thing more than anything else going on in the thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but in the midst of actually watching the game, I feel like everything is centered everywhere but the court in every break. And with Tad Smith, there's no video board, so it's like, oh, you're just here
for a
at the
basketball
game.
game.
And again, that's too far the other way. I get that, but
I don't know. I mean, it was a fun, nostalgic game. I miss sitting down on the floor because that was fun back in the day.
well, no, that is very true. And those days are long gone.
Long gone. It's one of the reasons I love the SEC tournament is we still have the traditional seats where you can kind of get a feel for the game again.
Yeah, Pocket Watch, the nonstop video board has made attending games less appealing, especially for the smaller games, which is most games. Yeah, I think it's a negative to just constantly be showing everybody in the crowd at all times. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think that's a pleasurable experience for most people.
I've never really paid attention to it. Now I probably will.
Well, yeah, because in media, you're not getting flashed on the board. Like,
Right? I'm just working.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I get that I hate the video board more than most people. Like, I do understand that I viscerally get bothered. That probably has ended up putting me on it more, if I'm being frank, because I've been so vocal about it. But I do think in general that's, other than like, hey, kids are dancing, that's cool, neat, blah, 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 let's show the kids. Like, I don't know.
Am I the only person that hates the kiss cam? Like,
Does anyone truly like it? Does anyone truly like it?
Like, I think that they're like trolling people. And I don't, for some reason, it's like, okay, these are the people that paid to come to your game. And now you're going to kind of put them in a weird spot sometimes and stuff. And
is it not anything more than Van Atkins pays for it? So they do it because there's a sponsor that's willing to do it.
I get it.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying.
it doesn't change the fact that I think I don't like it.
No.
Like, you should put a couple in there. Maybe they're on a date. Maybe they're not at that point where they're really, I don't know. I don't know.
Feels invasive.
A little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the worst one by far.
Yeah. I mean, I get uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get up and go walk around somewhere.
Yeah, because you can time it out. You know when it's coming. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
No, it's the worst one for sure. I mean, I wouldn't believe a poll would go, oh, no, we want to keep the kiss cam. Like,
does everybody do it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't travel much anymore for that kind of stuff. I mean, I've seen it other places, and we see it's jokes and whatever, but kiss cam is very real. Oh, it is real at every game.
Yeah.
Very real.
And at almost every time.
And a long media timeout. It's usually between the 16-minute mark of the second half.
And just about every time you can tell they get somebody that it's kind of awkward. Almost every time. And they pick on old people. Like, well, come on, leave them alone. They're fine. They're just watching a basketball game. You're going to make them kiss each other on camera? They don't want to do that.
Grind says Kentucky has a snack cam. They show a video of you eating your food and then play it backwards. Looks a little crazy when someone's eating a glizzy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I do like the Simba cam. It kind of makes me laugh.
I like Simba cam.
Yeah,
That's
it
funny.
makes me laugh.
I'll laugh at that, right.
Yeah.
And everybody,
that was good.
Everybody likes little kids.
Yeah, no one's...
I mean, I'm sure somebody doesn't like little kids, but you know my point.
Yeah. The kiss cam and the flex cam, when you pick the adults, are the two things that bother me.
Yeah, the flex cam should be exclusively kids.
Yes. The 47-year-old just watching the game, spending 2 hours away from the house, like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like,
now, you put the camera, what's he supposed to do? So he has two choices. He can either look like an idiot and flex, or he can sit there and he looks like he's a bad sport.
Yeah, no, you haven't been to Ole Miss basketball games. They are not staged, just picking random people out of the crowd.
Clearly.
Yeah. I do agree with that. They need to switch to a 4-quarter system like the women play.
Yes.
Be a great change.
NBA plays
it resets fouls.
Yeah.
It helps game flow from a media timeout standpoint.
Oh, I think in many ways there are some people that sometimes go, I really like the girls' game better than the boys' game. And it might be because you like the clock system better.
Yeah, it's flow. It is. It's flow for sure.
Because if you have a bad officiating crew, and half the time in college basketball you have one, and both teams get a ton of fouls, 13 minutes to go in the half, and it's just a free throw shooting competition, nobody finds that interesting. Then the game has no flow, it's boring as hell, and you kind of fall asleep.
So I want to come back to this. We mentioned it, and then somebody had said that Michael Borky had talked about it on Sports Talk Mississippi. I got the tweet here. Michael, to his credit, I appreciate the help. Sent us Chuck Dunlap's tweet, SEC media guy, for the official word on where this all came from here. And the tweet was from May 30th. I just missed it a week ago. Wasn't something that came across my radar. Television windows, i.e. early 12 to, okay, so the television windows are early, which is 11 to 12 Central Time.
Mm-hmm.
Afternoon, which is 2:30 to 3:30 Eastern Time. Central Time.
Yeah.
And then night, which is 5 to 7 Central Time. Those are the three windows. So morning, afternoon, night.
So no game will kick off after 7 p.m. local
Television
time.
windows will be announced for all remaining SEC-controlled games on Tuesday, June 11th, with select games tagged as flex games between the afternoon and the night windows.
Oh.
So like the NFL model in that way. So there's no more 12-day, whatever, 6-day advanced stuff. There's no more waiting and knowing the times. All that's over. That's number one.
Okay.
You're going to know all your times on June 11th. You can set your weightings. You can set your deal. You can set your whole schedule on what you want to do outside of the flexes, which can move a game from 2:30 to 3:30 to 6 to 8. 5 to 7, whatever.
5 to 7.
5 to 7 Central.
7. Don't you start that 8 o'clock blasphemy.
5 to 7. So we can move backwards or forwards from those two windows. And then that other part, yes, that is the big change. So there will not be an SEC game starting in Mississippi past 7 o'clock.
So still no chance of a 9 a.m. kick?
It appears that the morning window, or sorry, they say early window, not morning, because it's not morning.
Right.
Cannot be earlier than 11 a.m. Central Time.
That's too bad.
Who is it? There is a weird game time this fall. Who was that? Somebody's kicking at 9 a.m.
Good for them.
Did you see this?
No, but I applaud them.
Yeah, there's some game starting at 9 or 10 local. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Because they're matching an East Coast window, but they're wherever they are somewhere else in the country. Maybe it's like Boise State or somebody. Yeah, they're doing like a 9 or 10 a.m. game.
Huh. Why not? Sign me up. I thought about that when I was in Alaska. I was like, man, you wake up here at 8 a.m., there's games starting.
Yes, Eastern time zones can still have an 8 p.m. kick.
Yeah.
That is correct.
It jobs with what I've been told. I've heard this for a couple of years now, that the super late games don't do the numbers that you think they would do. Your casual fan doesn't sit around on Saturday night and watch college football until 11 o'clock.
Yeah, they are not getting rid of the 11 a.m. game.
No.
It does well.
Does really
they need
well.
something out of game day or whatever ends up being in that time slot.
It's the argument that I'm just kind of done with. I've talked to too many people in TV stuff who tell me about it, and they seem to be scared to tell fans the truth about that game, so they just don't. But they keep playing fairly big games there.
Pocket says Boise State kicked at 8 a.m. local a few years ago.
Can you give me 1 second?
Yeah, sure, of course. So we'll see where it goes. I don't know from that standpoint how many things will get flexed. I mean, you would have to assume that Ole Miss, with those 3 premium games, they want to make sure they have all the ability to do what they need to with Oklahoma, with Georgia, with LSU, at least. And then, some of the Florida stuff. What do you do with Ole Miss and Florida when, from a media standpoint, a TV standpoint, are they going to be trying to peddle some of those things? They're going to be trying to push things in this direction or that direction. That's going to be an interesting deal. to kind of see where they want to flex things, where they want to move them, and what's going on from there. But no, this is great news all the way around. This is a huge positive to go ahead and know your game times to the point that I think we're so used to not knowing the game times that we've allowed that to become norm when frankly it's a pretty screwed up way to plan your weeks, plan your weekends, plan your entire even kind of fall schedule a little bit. Because if you know a game is going to be at 11 versus most likely 7, 6:30, whatever it is, well, that might even change like where you're going or what small games you go to or anything like that. I think a lot of this is really good news for the consumer, for the fan, at a time when you all are kind of getting screwed around a little bit. I think this is good news. I think this is good stuff for everybody from that standpoint. So yeah, again, there's 3 windows: early, afternoon, and then night at that point. And then again, games can flex. That's an NFL model. I mean, that's not surprising from having that ability to do that. I mean, you want that ability. You want to be able to move a game from 2:30 to 6:30, 6:30 to 2:30, depending on what else is on or what's going on, or set up your schedules. I mean, you have to. If you're the TV people, you need a little flexibility in what that looks like. So that is not surprising in and of the least at that point. So anyway, just a little heads up there on what's going on with that. Most of my topics require Mr. McCready when he gets back. I will throw this out. You know, we haven't heard APR in a while on even kind of being a thing. And I saw this morning, it was in one of the things I was reading in my email, that some pretty hefty bonuses with successful APR coming out. And again, with the portal and everything going on, I don't know how you have APR that makes sense. I mean, the academic side, the staying on pace to graduate side, that's sort of nuts to me. That's one of those things that I don't see how easy or how I don't know how doable it would be from a standpoint of keeping that up. But Lane Kiffin getting a little richer. Ole Miss had a really good football APR. Ole Miss as a school had a really good APR. And out of the coaches listed this morning, Lane had was tied for the highest extra bonus for academic APR numbers because of Ole Miss football. He's getting an extra $150,000 for that. Mike Norvell also getting $150,000 for APR numbers at Florida State. And then Hugh Freeze and Billy Napier are both getting $100,000 extra at Florida and Auburn there for those two. So 6-figure bonuses for some APR numbers. I mean, I know there was some rumors about Musselman and Arkansas having bad APRs, and that might coming into something. But with the NCAA having no teeth and everything going on in all these court cases, I just cannot fathom a world where anyone is punished for bad APR. But I guess you'd rather have good than bad. It's look, Jimmy Sexton, Long the King, getting some 6-figure bonuses to coaches for APR numbers when APR, I think when it got down to it would mean absolutely nothing. Credit to him, but Lane Kiffin, $150,000 richer now off of that. Again, Freeze, Napier, and Norvell also getting 6-figure numbers from that as well. Leif saying Evansville plus, is that right? 30,000 to do what? To win the title, I assume. Evansville obviously playing Tennessee this weekend. Good grief, is that right? Is that to win the title? FSU, good value. Austin, thanks for the super chat. He says games shouldn't start before 12. Most people, especially in the South, still go to church on Sundays. So there are a lot of people only sleep in that day. Look, I would have no problem with noon. I mean, I know we make all the jokes and stuff, but I have no issue. Noon would be a good start time. I don't have a problem with that. But look, it's 2 things. One, the SEC was already really ingrained in what was originally 11:30 with Jefferson Pilot, Lincoln Financial, Raycom, whatever low budget entity was doing it at that time. And then I think it went from 11:30 to it went to 11:21. I think you had for a while, I want to say that's right, was 11:21 start times. And then now you've gone to 11. So you just have had time where you've gotten so used to that it's just not a big deal. And look, I mean, TV dictates they have to have something that's going to come out of that that window from 8 to 11 after those pregame shows, and that's what that's going to look like at that point.
Sorry about that. That was just a call I had to take.
Oh, no, you're good. All I mentioned in your stead was that Lane Kiffin is getting $150,000 for Ole Miss having a good football APR as a bonus.
That's good.
I credited Jimmy Sexton because
he was a little short on money. So
I credited Sexton here because Norvell got 152, Napier got 100, Freeze got 100. There is no way in hell the NCAA is going to punish someone for an APR in today's world. There's no way in the world.
No,
it's a dumb number at this point. It doesn't matter.
It's why there was a rumor.
Yeah, I mentioned Arkansas.
Yeah, and I was like,
sure.
Yeah, whatever.
Take that one on right now.
Yeah, good luck.
We're allowing unlimited transfers, but if you don't make sure your players graduate, we have a problem.
Stupid.
I mean, it's like denying somebody food and going, hey, you lost weight. We're punishing you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would even begin to enforce it. And if you did, like, how would you select the enforcement? I mean, ridiculous.
It's a random. Well, hold on. I have a thought, but I'll come back. Sorry.
So people are we still worked up about 11 a.m. kicks? Is that what it is?
No, Austin sent a super chat. He said that because of, especially in the South, people going to church on Sunday, Saturday is a slower morning for most people. So even 12 would help your typical person kind of get up, get moving, get going versus 11.
They don't live in our houses.
Yeah. And they just don't mean TV doesn't care. But what I was saying is culturally, we're so ingrained to it because for 3 decades now, we've had games at 11:30, 11:21, and 11.
Yeah.
It's just what we do.
Well, look. You can do anything you want. You can bitch about anything you want to bitch about. But if you're a fan and you love the morning shows, because people like get viscerally upset with me when I tell them that I think game day sucks.
Mm-hmm.
People hate that take. Game day, ESPN has to have something coming out of game day from a TV standpoint. You want people, just the way programming works, you want people to stay on your channel.
And you need it out of your highest rated show, not put something else on for 30 minutes to then come back to it.
You can't go from that to, hey, bowling.
No, it has to be Corso puts the head on and boom.
And boom.
Live from Boulder. It's blah, blah, blah.
We're playing football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Preferably with a good game.
Yeah.
It can't be, hey, Louisiana Tech, Fresno State next.
Yeah.
We go to Ruston. Everybody's going, well, what else is on?
Yeah.
No, you need an SEC game. You need a Big Ten game. You need a game that has some oomph. And I'll be honest, at Ole Miss, and I get that people love the night stuff, and Ole Miss did a phenomenal job with the night stuff last year.
Yeah.
But some of the best game day atmospheres I've heard at Ole Miss was in the morning games.
Day games.
It was loud. That Kentucky game, I thought the fans impacted that game.
They were good that day.
That was an 11 o'clock kick.
It was.
And I get it. Everybody wants to drink all day in the Grove, and then you get the light show. I totally understand. But I also understand where TV's coming from on this. And they're footing the bill. None of this happens without all the TV money.
Last question. We'll go to break. Come back. Do you expect more flexes 3 to 7 for the better game or 7 back to 3?
Ooh, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm going to guess it's the latter.
You think they're going to take night games and move them, the better games, back to the afternoon?
What I've heard from TV people is
because CBS 2:30 is now Big Ten.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I've heard from TV people is that is still the
dominant spot.
That is still the dominant spot that you can put a feature game here and there. Now, this might change it because Fox is going to do the big Saturday night.
They are.
Like NBC has done that Sunday night game of the week thing for a while, and it has become
huge.
It has become the biggest NFL spot.
It's great.
And so they're going to try to replicate that. And if they have success with it, obviously the SEC will have to answer.
Yeah. One way or the other.
Yeah. But I have heard some skepticism about the Saturday night game. Like what happens if you end up with kind of because, for example, the NFL, there's a reason they do the flex thing late in the season.
Mm-hmm.
They're guaranteed to not have a dog. What if you have a dog?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are people tuning in for, hey, Minnesota and Iowa, they're both 5-4? I don't know. Probably not.
No, this is giving the SEC the ability for them to look up and go, oh, no, hell, Tennessee's 9-1.
So what TV people have told me, and I've asked, is Saturday nights, people go out Saturday night. People go to dinner. People go to a concert, whatever. Sunday night, more people are home because Monday morning is work week, school week.
Yeah.
It's different audiences.
Sure.
That, Saturday afternoon is still a sweet spot. People are watching TV on Saturday afternoon, and a lot of people go, out to eat.
And it's such a different thing than Sunday because, yes, it's completely different. Because, even I get we're working most, but on a bye week or the off chance that I'm not doing whatever, right. I don't know, I am much more likely to watch that afternoon game than that night game.
And then you like to go to dinner.
Yeah, because you go, hey, let's just go to sit at the bar and I'll have a game on, but I'm eating.
But it's not
or
appointment
doing whatever.
television.
No. Right. Whereas Sunday, you're kind of out. Maybe you played golf or you did whatever. Or you're sort of doing the family stuff all day. And then at night, you're kind of in. You're getting ready for the week. And at 7:15, you go, pow, Bills, Chiefs. Done.
It's appointment TV. It's coming.
It's going to stay on while I'm cooking or doing whatever and watching the game.
Because you're getting up the next morning and you're going to work and the kids go to school. And, it's a different deal.
Yeah, so 2:30 makes more sense.
There's a lot of people in TV world that are really interested to see what the Saturday night hyped up deal does. It might do awesome. No one knows really, though. There is a different dynamic than on Sunday night.
And the Fox thing will get a little bit of a bump because it'll have a very NFL feel to it from a production.
That's what they're going to try to do. Yeah.
It will look like that.
And they do a terrific job.
And with it being good conference, that's different than when the Big 12 does it and you go, okay, but I don't care about Texas Tech playing Kansas State in that game. So there's some of that. So anyway. All right, G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer MedSync. For your prescriptions the same day each month. Take care of you. Also, an easy way to transfer your medications. You make one phone call, they take care of the rest. That's Tyson Drugs in Holly Springs or G&M in Oxford. Again, make them your community pharmacy of choice. 662-236-2222.
We're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis, part of Virtuoso, a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits, simply not available to other travelers. So get in touch with him, give him some parameters, give him a budget. He's going to give you options that you might not find on your own. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. Oxford's newest Greek restaurant on the square, Opa, is the perfect place to plan your company dinner, your festive party event, maybe even your company Christmas party, kind of thinking ahead a little bit. Opa can accommodate up to 200 guests. They have fabulous food, great craft libations as well. For catering or booking information, contact Jeannie, 601-421-7147. We're brought to you by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency. If you're looking for a job, they can really help you. If your company is looking to hire quality, hard-to-find talent, they can help you as well. It's always free for the candidate, and your company only pays if you decide to hire a candidate that Service Specialist sends. In other words, you've got nothing to lose. So give Will, Sydney, or Kelsey a call at 601-573-9242 or check out their new and improved website, servicespecialistltd.com. Get the beautiful and healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. Are you a displaced corporate executive wanting to put your career in your own hands? Are you an experienced entrepreneur looking to diversify? Either way, Andy Ludicky can help. He owns multiple franchises and businesses, uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy, put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. You've got nothing to lose. MyPerfectFranchise.net, Andy at MyPerfectFranchise.net, or 404-973-9901.
One more thing from a Rebel road trip last night, reading from the Twitter of David Eckert from the Clarion Ledger. Lane Kiffin started talking about its fifth season at Ole Miss. Quote, I've never said that before, so that sounds weird. said the position group he's most excited about is defensive line. Quote, if they develop like they should, we can really look good on the defensive front. Obviously, have to stay healthy there, but they are much better from a talent standpoint. There's no doubt about that. And it's one of the main areas where, again, when he watched that much talked about game against Georgia and went, oh, that's the spot.
Yeah,
hey,
of course.
better be a little better right there.
Got to be a lot better.
I had a thought before break, and now I don't remember what it was. So I don't know. Maybe it will come to me with my TV and those different things. But I don't know. Anyway, all those are good. They're all good changes. I mean, there's really nothing in this that seems negative or problematic for anyone as they flex and move it around and figure out what it looks like as they move forward. A couple things that I saw just around the country yesterday. Looking for it here. Real quick, scrolling down. Well, I hit this on 3 thing first. I did kind of find this interesting. They surveyed 36 football recruits that they classified as blue chip for the class of 2025. Make of that ranking however you would like to do it, but obviously top end guys. And they said, quote, majority of desired financial packages range from $200,000 to $600,000 per year, with the median at $400,000 per year for the 36 blue chips that were surveyed, assuming, I guess, they told the truth. Said the lowest recording NIL offer was $33,000. I'm kind of curious who that was and why that was the number. And then more than 20 asked to fill out the survey. Let's see, rated, blah, blah, blah. Okay. They asked 22 of the 36 gave all the information. So that was kind of your sample size of this. They talked to 36 to some degree. 22 gave everything that they knew, at least. They said they were honest. Who knows? 12 of those said they were content taking less money than their largest NIL offer for other reasons other than NIL. So 12 of the 22 or the 36, depending on how you want to say that. It was not just strictly about highest offer, or at least they did not take the highest offer that was given. The largest offer recorded was over 1.5 million guaranteed, and that could max out at just under 3 million, depending on other things. But that is kind of the summation of it right there, because that is technically illegal. It is not supposed to be performance based or based on anything else than just some guarantee. So I mean that's where I find such stupidity in the world we're in right now, is even that being a classified number of, well, it's over 1.5, but it could go up to 3. It's like, no, that's not how that's supposed to. Even the pay for play scheme, that's not how that's supposed to operate. So anyway, again, just sort of found those numbers interesting. There are collectives that have done better and some that have done worse simply from reputation and honesty. Said that when they were asked what their biggest fear to, players worry about being lied about, including one recruit simply on that line writing Jaden Rashada. So that is your that is how that went down at that point. Florida has approved NIL deals for their high school athletes this year. So you will have Florida high school players making more than their coaches in a lot of instances.
Got anything in Mississippi for high school soccer players? Anything going on there?
You interested?
I mean, just all right. What are we? What's the going rate on that puppy?
You don't think that's against morals or something? You're not.
I mean, look,
not against that.
I mean, they should get paid. Put in a lot of work. He's at practice right now as we speak. He should be paid.
Voluntary, I'm sure, on June the 5th.
It's kind of
voluntary.
It's kind of voluntary.
It's voluntary. There's just repercussions if you don't show up. That's all. It's make your own choice.
So we're wired so differently. Like, there's kids on his team that are missing a month because they're on vacations and stuff. And
he was not going to miss a month.
I don't know that Carson's ever missed a practice.
He's pretty locked in usually.
Yeah, I don't know that he's ever. I'm trying to think. Outside of being sick or when he had the hip injury, if he's ever missed a practice, I don't think he has for any travel or whatnot.
Big Ten and the SEC have both said they're going to just let one season play out before they try to put their foot down on more guaranteed spots in the college football playoff. So they're going to let one play out. They were floating the idea that they were essentially going to strong arm their way into their winners being automatic number 1 and number 2 seeds in the playoff from a champion standpoint. And then both sides also would be guaranteed 3 other spots in the top 12. So they would be guaranteed 8 of the 12 spots out of those 2 conferences, which is probably going to happen anyway. But they have let off the gas a little right now and said they'll let this season play out prior to trying to get whatever it is they want in this process. So there is that. I'm a little surprised by this. Where's it at? Yeah, here, a bill. I think we mentioned this a few weeks ago. A bill that would compel North Carolina and North Carolina State to play other in-state FBS teams routinely in football and basketball passed committee in less than 2 minutes yesterday. Looks like it's going to go into law, and it will mean North Carolina and North Carolina State will, by law, have to play one of East Carolina, App State, or Charlotte every year in football, men's basketball, and women's basketball.
See, this is why you don't want to always depend on government to handle things for
Like,
you.
hold on a minute.
I mean, if I'm North Carolina, I'm like, you people are out of your freaking minds.
Well, yeah, if you're Bubba Cunningham, you call and go, okay, if we don't do this,
Yeah.
what's the penalty?
And if we don't, you do what?
Yeah, like what's the...
Because here's a hint. We're not. That would piss me off to the point that I would like go, okay, we will play anyone but them.
It's not their fault, but no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The AD at ECU calls, you go, nope. Sorry.
Sorry.
We're booked. Valley State called. They really wanted to play. Hey, it's a great deal for us. We're gonna bring the Devils in.
I would push back so hard on that. With no. And now we probably would have done it in women's basketball, but no, now out of principle, we're not.
Did they not have the majority of the alumni on their state legislature? Like,
I guess not.
Is it a bunch of Duke grads going, hey?
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Like,
I mean, don't ever let government have that. But to your point, what are they going to do? You're going to strip,
just pay the fine and move on. Okay.
Yeah. Just.
So what do we do? Is it 20 grand? Okay. Well,
here's your check in pennies. Literally, I find some intern and go, hey, I need you to do me a favor. Here's a check for $20,000. Go get this put in nickels and drive it over to the courthouse there.
Yeah, you need to send this to Raleigh. Cool.
This is going to be an expensive backpack, but just do it.
It's fine. We'll cover it.
Yeah.
We're all right.
Yes, I realize it's going to take you 2 days. It's okay. You're getting paid for it.
And maybe it's true. Maybe they think, oh, North Carolina's out of here, so we're going to punish them on the way out.
Well, they're definitely leaving.
It's such a funny thing because we talk, Florida State and Clemson have been so loud. North Carolina is sitting over here knowing they can go wherever the hell they want whenever they're ready to go there.
Yeah, they're just...
The SEC will take them.
They keep hoping, I think, that there's a dissolution that prevents them from having to pay some massive exit fee.
Correct. Virginia's in pretty good shape to get out when the time comes.
Sure.
It's a very good institution. Louisville is funny to me because I was reading here, their AD had sat down with some media member there in Kentucky, and talked for a while about how he was so bullish on the ACC and it was going to be fine. And that, he gives some, where's the quote? Let me find it here. Says, I think at times we fans lose sight of where the ACC is really. There's a lot of athletic departments that would pay, handsomely to be in the ACC. I kind of always refer to it. We live in a pretty good neighborhood. And I think sometimes we get all used to driving into our neighborhood, right? But then we go to another neighborhood that isn't as nice. And we realize, hey, we live in a really nice neighborhood. And that's what I don't want us, our fans, our other members of the ACC to forget. They are talking about how they are in the third best conference, which I'll debate that already. But
I think you're in the
Big
fourth.
12 is
Big
number
12's
3.
better, yeah.
But what that tells me is that they know they're screwed and they have nowhere to go and are not going to have anywhere to go. It's their AD going, hey, I got to try to put lipstick on this pig because the Big 12, I guess might take me down the road, but I'm not getting into the SEC or the Big 10.
Look, if I'm Louisville, this is the part that I think this is North Carolina's gamble, is that they're waiting for cooler heads and smarter heads to prevail. Because if I'm Louisville and quietly the Big 12 tells me yes, I need to go.
Oh, 100%.
If I'm NC State and the Big 12 says, we want you.
Okay.
I need to go.
Let's guarantee we're okay.
Why don't we all sit around and talk about this? The one that I'm interested in is Duke. Like, I've heard no Big Ten buzz on Duke.
No.
I've heard no SEC buzz on Duke. And they don't really fit the whole Big 12
at
thing.
all. Oh, God.
So where do they go? Because they're not Notre Dame. Notre Dame's the one of those schools that can still go, hey, we can flex this independent muscle.
Does Duke do a weird football conference deal and go Big East?
I mean, basketball-wise, it would be a fit.
Nothing else, though.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And I don't know what, like, their football, they've made money on football.
They have. They've been fine.
They've been good.
Yeah. They beat Clemson last year.
Yeah, no, they've been good. They've had success.
But nobody wants them. At least vocally.
Not that I've heard.
Yeah,
there
sure.
could be something that I don't know, obviously.
Yeah, they could be announced to the Big Ten tomorrow, and nothing would shock me. But
that actually kind of would shock me. Because I don't know enough about the politics of North Carolina, clearly. Is North Carolina going to demand that Duke be attached to them?
I don't think so.
Or would the connection be, hey, you have to take NC State? I'm guessing not. Because for the longest time, you heard that about Oklahoma. Oklahoma can't go anywhere without Oklahoma State, and then voila, they did.
Grind makes a really good point. Louisville should have been in the Big 12 instead of West Virginia. They were comfortable at the time and didn't make that jump.
Yeah, no.
Because West Virginia is looking up going right now going, hey.
Oh, absolutely.
Guys.
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I hear people go, well, they have some long flights. They're okay. Could have been a lot worse.
Oh, no. West Virginia is a winner in realignment.
Sure.
Big winner.
Because West Virginia had kind of held on to this hope privately that maybe the SEC would expand that far. And when they didn't, but again, I give credit to the people there. Someone goes, hey, you can get Big 12. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, go ahead, go.
Let's lock that in.
Because they didn't have an in-conference like rivalry they were overly concerned with.
No, like, I mean, they're big rivals, Pitt.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Yeah. It'd be all right.
And they've gotten back to playing that game. Play it early in the season.
Did they play it?
Yeah, they played it last year.
The backyard brawl?
Yeah. But you can't be hostage to that.
No.
I mean, that's why if I'm North Carolina, the whole, well, you know, the ACC tournaments in Greensboro and blah, blah. So?
Yeah, that's not the answer.
But I think this is what UNC's gamble is that enough of these schools will start to go, all right, let's quietly look in the mirror here for a minute. We need to take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to acknowledge who we are. We're not as sexy as we used to be.
Yeah.
Let's get a home.
And I didn't know this. Austin said, speaking of NC State, did you guys see we're starting next year? They made a scheduling agreement with Virginia to play each other in football and non-conference games starting next year.
Well, that tells me somebody knows something. Somebody.
It's both them calling each other and going, hey, we can sell this in the midtime of, hey, we're just getting an extra big game. We want to make sure we play each other. Cool.
Well, I think I've told you this. I mean, I've heard this a couple of times from people who would know. The whole pause on expansion is a very brief pause. I think it's ABC/Disney, SEC want to see what a season at 16 looks like, feels like, how it does metrically.
Sure.
Same with Fox and the
Big Ten.
Expanded Big Ten. Just kind of what is it? Let's get some data here. You know? Get a little data and then go from there. But if the data is good, I swear if you're North Carolina and the data's good and you know they both want you, it might be worth taking that financial hit.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you get enough of everybody going, okay, let's all do it together. Let's dissolve this thing together.
Yeah, sure. So, all right, we'll come back in a second. Before we do that, tell you about Northeast Spark, NESPARC, service people across rural communities. 2 packages, the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze, the 1 gig, their fastest option available. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's nespark.com, 662-238-3159. Phone service, pro controls, network security, wireless mesh extender for those who need the extra help, and more. That's 662-238-3159.
Southern Traditions Farm is a 68-acre, 32-stall upscale equestrian training and boarding facility in Canton, Mississippi. 2 sand rings, a grass ring, miles of wooded trails. There's a lot offered at Southern Traditions, including horseback riding offerings from beginner lessons with trainer Susan Walt to buying your first horse, competing at nationally recognized competitions, and more. It's also a great venue for corporate outings, events, that type thing. So get in touch with them on Facebook or Instagram at Southern Traditions Farm. I'll have a mailbag up much later today. It's brought to you by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's International Realty and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art Hayes can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask Art how. 612-805-5929 or email him at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com.
Not like I know anything about women's basketball for the most part, but I was a little surprised to see Gino Auriemma signed a new 5-year deal yesterday.
Oh, yeah. How old's he?
I don't know. Been doing it for quite a minute.
Well, he's had a storied career for sure.
This next season will be his 40th in stores. He turned 70 in March.
Oh.
11-time national champion.
Yeah, he's had a moment.
And they're still good.
Oh, they'll be the favorite to win it next year.
Oh, they will be, yeah. Because Beckers is back, isn't she?
That's your girl.
Yeah, I was kind of pulling for that. Yeah. Yeah, he says, I still find it hard to believe I've been at UConn for over half my life. There's so much more that can be done and will be done. I'm excited to be the one to do it with my staff and team. I'm probably as excited about these next few years as I've ever been over the last 40.
Oh,
so, Gino Auriemma.
Good for him.
He might be trying to chase some of those. I think he got passed for most wins last year by the woman at Stanford. Might be trying to put some stuff. He's got a bit of an ego.
He's got a lot. He strikes me as the type that probably would not be all that content in retirement.
He's not the guy going to the lake, I don't think.
No.
That doesn't feel like Gino.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it 5 or 6 times on the pod, but maybe the coldest recruiting moment was when the girl he was recruiting was between him and Duke. And it was a game in Durham, and she had the floor seats or whatever, and he walked by her and goes, "Hey, go to Duke. They need you." During the middle of the game.
And she went to UConn, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I was like, okay. So anyway, yeah, look, I don't know what those teams do. Georgia Tech's in a weird spot. Wake Forest, Duke, all of them. I don't know. I mean, maybe they form some conference themselves, but what is your TV package?
Well,
Who's paying you?
I don't know.
No, literally, who is paying you?
I don't know.
Apple TV? I mean,
yeah, it would have to be something like that.
That's the thing. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I've been saying this for years. I would have advised North Carolina years ago to get out. Just eat the money. You'll get it back.
Yes.
This is going to hurt for a minute.
In 2030, North Carolina's in the SEC.
Or the Big Ten.
Okay, sure. Depending on athletics versus academics and who wins.
100%.
And I don't know. Who knows?
Well, this is...
The SEC makes more sense.
And I'm going to use college baseball as the example here. Because, if you're smart, you go, God, if this happens in baseball, what would football be like? This is 2 of the last 3 years they have hosted a super regional. I mean, a regional or a super regional with an SEC school.
Chapel Hill.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
They had Arkansas there for a super regional 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
LSU this time.
Okay. They lose to Arkansas in 22 when Ole Miss went?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think it is too.
And in that super regional, it was packed.
Mm-hmm.
Great atmosphere, the whole deal. In this regional, LSU brought thousands of people, and everybody up there, they won, so they look at it like, oh, this was awesome. But it was awesome. It was the regional that everybody who doesn't care about a particular team talked about.
There was a reason that was the game at 5 p.m. on ESPN.
There was a reason that was the only one that I kept up with.
Yeah.
I'm not a big college baseball guy. I don't have a team. I mean, I watched that one. And if you're at North Carolina, don't you look at this and go, God, we fit.
Oh, they're a tremendous fit in everything outside of.
But there's some good academic schools in the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia, Florida.
Mm-hmm. Missouri journalism.
I mean, Vanderbilt, seriously.
Yeah.
Texas is a strong academic school.
It is.
I mean, give me a break. If I'm them,
go where the money is.
If I'm them, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because if I can get those kinds of crowds for a baseball series.
I mean, they're a perfect SEC baseball team.
Yeah, what am I getting for football? That's what I would be thinking.
Yeah. And their basketball will fit on the moon. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, their basketball fits anywhere. So if I'm them, though, I look at a baseball deal and I'm like, okay, so Arkansas and LSU come here over a 2-year span. God, what would it be like if Tennessee football came here? It's to me, it's a no-brainer.
It's a basketball note real quick. Did you see where the same teams are in that? If they play in Chicago, that preseason thing Kentucky does. It's like Kentucky, Ohio State, Kansas, and somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Same 4 teams every year, basically.
Yeah.
What it's going against this year with all this new schedule, it's going against like NFL, college football playoff, like literally head up.
Good luck.
Why are you even doing it? No one's watching Kentucky, Ohio State basketball that day. Well, nobody.
Kentucky basketball.
Oh, okay. Lexington will draw a big number.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes. Louisville will draw a big number. But what are you doing?
Well, you're setting up your net rating and all that stuff for later in the year.
I mean, I understand why you're playing the games.
Yeah.
From a TV product standpoint, it makes no sense.
Those weekends are going to be super competitive. I'm curious to see what that first round of college football playoff does against NFL games. Because there will be NFL games on at the same time, with the exception of that Friday night. That Friday night, I think it's December 20th, first playoff game on a campus is going to draw some kind of crazy number. But Saturday, you're going up against the NFL.
Is that going to draw an NFL number?
Playoffs?
Not an NFL playoff number, but an NFL number otherwise?
Probably.
Yeah. It might even beat a playoff number because it'll be a novelty. Everybody's like, oh, okay. Get the right teams.
If you get the right matchup, you're gonna thread that needle.
Georgia, Texas, it can't be that now, but you know what I mean. Whatever.
LSU at Ohio State.
Yeah. Where you go?
Oh yeah, everybody's watching that.
Yeah. Michigan playing Alabama, and you go, okay.
Yeah. Sure. Have the Heisman winner on the field on Friday night. Yeah.
It's been known for a while, but the preseason tournament for Ole Miss is a good one. They are playing in that with BYU, Purdue, and NC State. They are playing those teams over Thanksgiving in San Diego is where those games are being played. So they will play the way I understand it, they'll play all 3 teams somehow because it's a 3-day tournament, but they'll have a winner. So you're doing essentially a pool thing.
Oh, so they'll play all 3?
That's kind of the way I understood it.
Okay, well, that's pretty good.
I could be wrong. The press release was a little confusing, but that was the way I interpreted it on first read. Here, we got time. Let me read it real quick because it'll be high up the basketball page. I'd like to get this right. So let's see, and I could easily be wrong. It is the Rady Children's Classic. Okay, so it must be just 2 games because they wouldn't play twice in one day, so I apologize. November 28th, 29th in San Diego. Joining the Rebels in the prestigious tournament is Purdue, NC State, and BYU. Both the Boilermakers and Wolfpack reached the Final Four last season, while BYU was a 6th seed. Mark Pope, obviously the coach there, now at Kentucky. The event will consist of 2 games each day with a championship and third-place game on November 29th. So, yeah, I misread that sentence. So, they will play 2 of those 3, NC State, Purdue, and BYU. So, good company there for those 2. It will be televised on either Fox or FS1 for those games. So yes, San Diego. There you go for the.
That'll be good for their net. They need to play a competitive non-conference schedule. Period.
And we don't know who their Big 12 team is now or whatever we're doing. Are we still doing Big 12?
I think so. I haven't seen it.
Okay, I haven't either. So it's June. There's time. So All right. We'll talk to Jeffrey tomorrow. Got more coming on the network as the week moves on. Content coming. I guess Neal and I are both doing mailbags probably today at some point. And then whatever else pops between now and the weekend. So appreciate everybody in the stream. Thanks for the super chats and everybody hanging out. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow.